All right. All right. All right. All right. Good to see everybody. Happy Tuesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. As you can see, look at here. I paid homage to our special guest this morning. So I hope everybody's having a great day. And I am so excited for you. So we were thinking about the Chalk Talk today, and I'm like, you know what? We were talking about last week. We were talking about there's a huge difference. Kristine McKay, I want to introduce in just a second. But Kristine, just so you know, last week on here, we were talking about it. There's a big difference in network marketing. Anybody put it in the comments what we talked about? There's a big distinction between being interested in a company as a brand partner and invested in the company as a brand partner. Like, you will do different things. Like Anthony said, yeah, interested versus invested. Like, if you're interested, you'll get on the calls, you'll listen in, you'll be a tourist in that company where you order your products, you take them every month, and we love interested people. But if you can get your belief right and you can get motivated and you can crank that tractor up one more time, you can become invested. And invested people start taking an interest in the company and realizing the significance of building a downline, of recruiting, of following up with your recruits, of bringing in customer acquisitions. Like if you're invested, you're going, this is my shot to change my future and to change my family's course pathway. Like, I'm going to go all in on this movement. That's an invested person in the business. And so, Kristine, we talked about, like, you got to have belief to be invested. Like, you got to believe in where you're going, and you got to have vision for where you're going. And Tracy jumped in, and as everybody knows, Tracy, between me and Tracy, he likes to think he's more witty. Like, he's more wittier than me. And he's got all these comments, and but he came in and he talked about vision, and he talked about belief, and he kind of painted a vision where he saw we were going. And through this process, I'm like, we got to bring our GM of North America, because we're headed to Orlando. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And I believe that we're getting ready to write the next chapter to the book of this company. And we've been talking about that. And things just line up. They line up for a reason. And we talked about that last week. But I'm like, we got to bring on our GM of North America, because I got to say this, Kristine, but since Kristine has been the GM of North America, we have, and you feel free, go ahead in the chat. She ain't got to wait on me. Give her some love. Because I know, like, every time somebody hears the name Kristine McKay, everybody's like, jumping around, get a big smile on their face. I'm like, why don't I do that to people? I got to, anyway. But ever since she's been a part, I've watched what's happening as far as the camaraderie and the love and the support and the way people feel about what we're doing in North America. And I believe sales has trended, sales has trended on a more vertical growth curve since Kristine has taken over and been a part of this movement in North America. And what I believe is we just started. We hadn't even started the new chapter. We're about to start the new chapter. And so I'm like, we got to get her on. So Kristine McKay, we love you, and we appreciate all your hard work and all your many tasks that you do. But we also wanted to pick your brain today, like for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, just pose some questions and ask you some things. And if you can't touch on them, you can just say, nope, not going to talk about it. But thank you for being here. And thank you for like taking the calling of being the GM of North America and what you mean to us and what you've done since you've been here.
You know, I have to tell you, I never in my entire life thought I would be on a chalk talk. Funny story. I was a cheerleader in high school, and I would say at least every game I'd start, defense, and they'd be, Kristine, it's offense. So I never thought that I would actually be on a chalk talk. So I'm going to brag. I have bragging rights now, and I did learn my offense and defense eventually.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm just so thrilled to be here. I love, when you're on calls like this, I know that the people that are here are invested because they're here, they're taking that time.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And one of the things that I want us all rocking into Orlando with this mindset of like, we're going to write a new chapter, and we all, no matter your background, no matter your age, no matter how long you've been in the industry, no matter anything, like we all have the ability to be in this new chapter moving forward and to be able to, but we got to get our mindset right. We got to get our belief right. Like we got to go into this event like on all cylinders, feeling it. You know what I'm saying? How many of you would agree you've been to an event before and you're that crotchety old person in the back of the room going, I've heard of this before. I've heard this, like they've said this. And well, you showed up to that event with not the right frame of mind. And then how many of you's been to an event, you're on the front row, like you're like dialed in, like this is the event that's going to change my life. That's where I want us all in Orlando, Florida. Like I want this to be the event that changes our life. And Kristine, that's why you're here today. And that's what I wanted to kind of pose. You just thought of something now. I'm gonna let you go.
Well, no, as you were talking, and you were saying like sometimes as we get older, it's easy to become cynical, or I've tried that, or I've done that. And, something I've been thinking a lot about with this Dare to Dream event is why was it so much easier when we were kids to dream and imagine? I mean, the imaginations. And, one thing I thought that was kind of interesting that if you look back, and Brent, I'm sure you did this too. I'm sure you had your little GI Joes and played, with your buddies. I remember, being a little girl and dressing up and acting it out. And you know what? That really was teaching us the concept of visioning. Because when you're little and you're dressed up, me and my little brothers, for instance, we would go sit out in my mom's like old station wagon, and we would play Dukes of Hazzard. And I'll tell you what, we weren't sitting in my driveway in Blackfoot, Idaho. We were like driving across Kentucky. We were running from bad guys, and I was there. And I thought, what can we learn from that faith, like when we are younger, and why does it change when we get older? And, I think some of it is one of the things we just talked about is, sometimes when we get older, it's easy to get cynical. When we're young, everything is new and there's no fear. I think sometimes as we get older, we have, when you get to be my age, you've experienced failure. And so what that is. And so there can be a little bit of fear there. But I think if we can just, commit and just remember back. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. I was boy crazy. I'd go to bed every night listening to, I don't know, like Chicago, dreaming of John Jensen in the 6th grade, but my dreams were so much more vivid. And I think that for us, and to really, make those dreams come true, there's, it starts out with maybe a wish. You might see somebody, you might be like, gosh, I wish I could do that. And then it's a hope of, maybe I could do that. And I think from there, you have a vision where then it is, no, I see myself. I am there. Like when we were little kids and we're dressed up and we are living that moment. And as we do that, I genuinely believe that as we're setting our goals and we are achieving them, we eventually, our dreams become reality. And so at this event, we have some amazing inspirational speakers, people that are going to help with mindset, people that are going to motivate you. But the biggest thing that I want to take away from this is moving it from an I wish to I believe, and I am doing this, and setting those goals. So I love the theme of this event, Brent.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm as excited about this event, Kristine, as I've been, and it's for me, selfishly for me. Okay. I'm gonna elbow Arlene to get to the front row, okay, at this event. Because for me, I'm kidding, Arlene. You know I love you. Arlene was a teacher too, so we got this little banner going back and forth about education. I was a better teacher than her, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. So the thing about it is I'm going to take from this event, and I'm going to go grab like a whole new piece of business for Brent Palmer. And that's what I want all of you to think about. Like this is our time to be in this chapter, this new chapter of this book, and for this company. And so I don't know what you can say about this. I'm trying to word it where it's like, okay, so tease us just a little bit if you can, like in your own way. We've been hinting around about a launch that we're going to launch something at this event that I believe is an absolute game changer for everyone involved. Is there any teasing that you could do for all of us to just like,
one thing I would say is I believe with my whole heart, my whole gut, that this is going to be a game changer. Everyone on this call, everyone that is in the audience at Dare to Dream, everyone that chooses to test this new system out, you will see a increase in your volume, in your paychecks, in your business. I believe that this is a game changer. And Brent, you know what I love so much about this? It is so simple. The simplicity of it. And I think sometimes we try to overthink things or make things really big, and then it gets complicated. And the beauty of this is how incredibly simple it is. The fact that we've tested it with focus groups, the fact that it hits on just about every agenda item that I had coming into this role, as far as growing North America sales, retention, so many social media. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. And so, you know, Tracy said to me when he flew out, and we sat down for like 3 days mapping this out. And the most important thing he said to me the entire time was, can you see yourself doing this? And I thought how important that is. Not, I think this is a good idea, but when you can actually envision yourself in it, and you can envision yourself doing it. And you know what my answer to that was? Yeah, absolutely, I could. And every single person that has seen this says, yeah, I can see myself doing that. When you can see yourself doing that, the vision has already started. The belief is already there. And I cannot wait to be flooded with just success stories from this. This is the first time since I've been involved with the company that I have seen a unanimous support for this from our Partners Council, our founders, and more importantly, unanimous support from inside corporate, from marketing to operations to Mark Wilson to everything. So I wish I could say more, but just remember, it is simple, it's duplicatable, and it will definitely be something that you can see yourself doing.
So I'm sitting here, I'm all giddy because I'm like, woo-hoo-hoo. Listen, and the thing, just like our products, it's backed by science. Our products are backed by, so it's not Susan and Bill going, oh, this is the best product in the world because we believe it and blah, blah, blah. It's like No, our products are backed by science. Like they have studies. Like you go to the PDR and you see Tahitian noni in the PDR. Like who does that? Who has that? Like that's incredible, right? You go to PubMed and there's like thousands of studies on like Limu 5X or TNJ or so we got products that are backed by science. This that Kristine is talking about is backed by proof. It's not, oh, we think maybe if it's backed by proof. And so all I can say, Kristine, to piggyback what you just said is we're all network marketers on here. Okay. So here's the time where you kind of put your shoulders back, chest out. Somebody asks you what you do for a living. You say, I'm a network marketer. That's my profession. Like it's I'm proud of my profession, right? I'm proud of my profession. But so as network marketers, I got to ask you a question. Arlene, I'm coming at you right here. Have you ever, as a network marketer, been to the mall or to a outlet or just at a red light and all these cars passing you and you're like, what if every one of these people was drinking my product? I would be a stinking billionaire. I would be a billionaire if every one of these people in this arena or how many of you done that? Don't lie. You know you've done that before. You've been at church and you thought, what if every one of these people? Or you've been at the mall or you've been in an arena, right? This would change all my problems. It's just every one of these people would just order a month's supply of this. So really the art of network marketing is get the masses to the table, right? You know, when you show up and there's like 500 of us, why couldn't it be 5 million of us? Well, it could. If your vision was big enough, if your belief was big enough, and if you had the science and the backing and the system and all of that to get to the 5 million. That's what I believe people will see in Orlando, Florida, is how do we double the size of the room? It will be in Orlando, Florida. How do we get more people to the table? That answer will be in Orlando, Florida. So that's why it's so important. You go, what if you had everybody in your community, everybody in your town, everybody in your state, in your downline drinking your stuff, using your stuff, making you residual money? The answer will be in Orlando, Florida. That's the simplest I can put it to piggyback, like why it's so important to be there. Now, Kristine, you sit there every day. You sit there every day with the executives, with Fred Cooper, Mark Wilson, Cameron, all of you guys as executives in the company. Like you're working in Utah with them. Deanna, I'll leave somebody out. But how excited are you for the next chapter of this company?
I am so unbelievably thrilled. And I know that everyone on this call that has been with us, you know, through the merger, through the convergence, like you've been put through it, you know, as a field. And I'm just going to be really honest with you. As somebody from corporate, boy, like I've been put through it as well. Like it's a different perspective, but it's, you know, adapting to change, adapting to, you know, new colleagues, new cultures. I mean, it's been a lot. And for me, I've just been so hopeful and excited for things to, you know, kind of come together. And I will tell you that this is probably the first time since the merge and everything that I have had such an overwhelming feeling of calm and unbelievable excitement. And I always like to back that up. I like to trust my gut, but I trust numbers more. I trust facts more. And not only do I feel it, I see it every day. Talked about this a little bit on the Zoom call last night. But, you know, one of the things that's been frustrating, I'm sure for you all and me as well, is, you know, the last few events we haven't been able to plan them out very far in advance. And so, you know, because of that, there comes little hiccups. The fact that I now have a peace in my stomach, just a calm, that we've already got our events scheduled for next year. There's no doubt we're going forward. We can already start planning ahead. And for me, I'm so future focused because I know that the goals and the habits that I put to practice today are what my future is going to be. So as the GM, knowing that I have this clear path for our future makes me it's so much easier for me to work with all of you to put together goals of how to get there. So hopefully that makes sense. But honestly, I have such calm and such incredible excitement between the system that we're launching, the trips that we have planned, just the overall engagement of North America and Canada. You guys are rock solid. You guys are rock solid. I'm just going to share something really quickly, because in every business, summer slow, your numbers drop. I've never been in a company where that didn't happen. It happens every year at RX and New Age. And the other day, Cam told me what our sales were, and he said, "Oh, this is really good for summer." And I was like, "Let me just tell you, we went all the way through summer without our sales dropping a penny. In fact, we were over projections. You guys worked so hard that I forgot it was summer because your numbers weren't screaming summer at me." So your commitment is so incredible. And I just hope that everybody that comes to the event just has, like we were talking about, just that childlike hope and excitement, I guess, and to just push your fears away and just envision you doing it and walking away from that event. And in fact, I'm going to challenge you guys from stage to write down like 5 things that you're going to do from that event. Because Brent, you and I have talked about this before, that I love intentions. I love a good dream, but without a plan, it's just a dream, And so my hope is that we are going to give clear paths to success like we've never done before.
Oh, I love it. If somebody put your energy is contagious, it is. Like I believe the leader at the top, like Kristine, ends up turning the whole mirror of the company into what you're putting out, right? So the energy is contagious, we're going to breed people that have energy that's contagious and people want to be a part of. And one of the things I want to ask you as we end is so your previous life, you lived in a world of online shopping. Like how many of you maybe put in the chats in the comments that you believe the world's changed to where now people are shopping on Facebook, they're shopping on Instagram, they're shopping through platforms like Etsy. Like online shopping is real. If you're like sitting there going, no, that's not real. Trust me, people are making a lot of money with online shopping. So Kristine, that was your life. Like that was your former life, online shopping. And how important, see if I can position the question right. How important is the correlation between sales and someone filling up their funnel? And what I mean by filling up their funnel is they're out piquing people's interest. They're out getting people, they're out creating a brand for their self that is where people are going, what is Brent doing? Like, what is this thing he's talking about? Like I see him on the reels. I see him doing things. Like, how important is it right now to be filling that funnel of people and interest in regards to sales in the near future for what we're doing coming out of Orlando? Like, does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
It totally does. And one thing that I thought of, and you actually talked about it earlier about, being proud to be a network marketer. So one of the things that I actually used to do in my previous career as well was I would work with influencers and work on their personal branding. And I probably had over 100 people that I worked with. And, do you want to know what the number one obstacle that I had with every single one was that they were mostly all women. They had huge followers, so they had their funnel packed. But guess what? They had nothing to monetize it with. They didn't have a product. They didn't have anything to sell. And it wasn't until I came into this industry that I was like, oh my gosh, I wish that I would have known about this sooner, because this is so much more powerful than just being a social influencer. Because you can play games and you can get followers, but if you don't have anything to monetize it, it's just a popularity contest. I love the opportunity that New Age gives, because you can really, and I say this all the time, you can still have your own personal brand. It does not matter if your personal brand is riding horses, crocheting. And I use my crocheting example all the time, because you think, okay, I knit and I crochet. How can I use New Age to monetize that? Do you realize how many women have like joint problems? And I'm not kidding you. If you could think of like whatever your personal brand is, what would you love to be a social influencer and be? And I can tell you there is a way that you can monetize it through New Age. So I love that we are focusing a lot more on social media and social influencing and social branding, because that is going to be the secret to get out there and to do lead generation. We have courses that we're going to be starting. We'll be announcing them at the events that we have paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in research and interviewing top influencers. It's the first social kind of branding course that I've ever seen from a corporation that works. And so I don't know if that completely answers your question, but
no.
Fill that funnel up. We're gonna give you some tips on how to do that, but you're already ahead of the game because you have something to monetize it with.
Kristine, that completely, because so any great company that explodes, there's something that happens unique with the company, the corporate side and the field side. They come together. Like there's companies that run for years and years and years, and they run, but they never hit momentum. They never go in momentum because the company and the field kind of run like this. But when the company and the field come together and they form a bond and they're in sync with each other, a company can go into massive momentum that, Franklin, you can look up and go, how did 10,000 people just join my business? Well, we're smart enough to know I didn't just become like this brilliant person overnight. It's because things came together, right? And I've seen it in my life, in my business, years ago, things came together and it created a fortune for me and a lot of other people. Tracy's seen the same thing. Tracy Turnberg, come together, fortune was created for him and his family and a lot of other people. And I could point to other people on this call that's happened. But to Kristine's point, I want to read something to you. Okay, this is really quick, but it's the Laws of Branding. If you do not have this book, like, it might be worth it to you to actually read it. I've read it a couple of times. I'm reading it again, but I want to read you like the first little part, okay? And I want you to just listen to this. Please just take the time to listen. What is branding? From a business point of view, branding in the marketplace is very similar to branding on a ranch. I think Kristine just said horses. A branding program should be designed to differentiate your product from all the other cattle on the range, even if all the other cattle on the range look pretty much like yours. Last thing, successful branding programs are based on the concept of singularity. Singularity, remember that word. The objective is to create in the mind of the prospects the perception that there is no other product on the market quite like your product. Here's why I tell you that. When you come to Orlando, you're going to see a focus that is going to bridge our company and our field together, and a system that its entirety is going to get people, all those people at the red lights and all those people in the arena coming to you, okay? Coming to you. And then once they come in the door, we're going to have things within the company that is going to expose the audience of people coming into the door to all the many beautiful things we have inside of this amazing company. And Kristine, I see it. I see the vision of this, like I see the future of this, but it can't be done without the collaboration of the company, of you and the field. And I've watched your efforts. Guys, I can't tell you, I'm having Kristine on, but I'm also sending out a shout out to her like publicly. This would not be possible without a leader willing to, like Kristine, willing to go to the plate to say, this is what we need, this is where we're going to focus, and we're going to bring this to you. So Kristine, thank you, truly thank you. And I know you're excited, but it wouldn't be possible without you. So
gosh, I appreciate that so much. And, you know, as you were talking, I just feel compelled to share with you that I love the space that I'm in right now so much. I love every single person at corporate and the relationship. And, you know, in tough times, you become closer and you lean on each other and you wear different hats and the field. But I would say that this has helped fulfill one of my dreams and one of my life goals. And that is, I love working with people and helping them be successful. I'm a problem solver. I mean, I'll create problems just to solve them. I mean, that I love a good problem. and so I love being able to work with the field and kind of play that game of Tetris of, you know, making it work for corporate and making it work for every team out there that even might, you know, have unique agendas. So this has really fulfilled my dream, and I'm doing exactly what I want to do. And I am so blessed to be a part of your community, and just, you guys uplift me every single day and make me want to like work harder. So I am so blessed.
Kristine, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Everybody give Kristine a big shout out. And here's the thing, get to Orlando. If you're on here, we got broadcasts going on the social media side, listening into this Zoom broadcast. Like I don't know what else to do if you're not in Orlando. Like you need to call me and go, here's my hiccup, here's my issue. Like, help me solve this to get to Orlando. Like, let me help you be a problem solver to get your butt into the seat in Orlando, because it's that big of a deal for your future. It's that big of a deal selfishly for your future. You want to be a part of this. You don't want to miss this. So Kristine, thank you. Tracy, any parting comments? Andrea Rosser, I know you're on. I mean, I've told them to jump in. And
Tracy, feel free to give me some accolades too. I didn't hear from you.
Oh, you got some work to do, buddy.
Just kidding.
I think Brent was doing such a good job of everything. It's like, I don't need to jump in on this, Brent, you guys did an absolutely great job. I do have one big question, and I want you to be honest with this. Who did more, Brent or Tracy?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, Brent was my favorite. Sorry. Today, you're my favorite, Tracy.
No, everything you guys did was absolutely spot on. I am so excited for we're launching in Orlando, and having worked with Kristine on this, I would not have come together without Kristine's faith and vision for this entire thing. And it is, yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely amazing. You've done a phenomenal job of aligning everything for us, because we need this in the field. And I, like Brent said, selfishly, I want this for myself, as much as for everybody else. And so I'm just excited to be we away from Orlando now, a little over 2 weeks away from Orlando. Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait for Orlando.
Yeah, it's just a few weeks away. So it's like figure out a way to get there, like come by boat, truck, like caravan, whatever you got to do to get there. Andrea Rosser.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys know I love a good to-do list. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, but we got to highlight you now. Now we can't.
Well, that's the perk of being in charge, is that.
Oh, no. Put yourself on highlight.
I don't have to add the highlight if I don't want to.
Okay.
But okay,
all right.
I added it. So the only thing that I would ask, and thank you all, like I know everybody has been working really hard. I am like ridiculously excited to get there and to see what you roll out. And, Arlene asked in the beginning, she's like, what's the best thing that you can sneak to us right now? And it's like, well, nothing, because we got to get there. Right. So but I feel it. I'm right there with her. I'm like, just spill the beans. We don't need to wait 2 weeks, but we do. So I get it. But I would say what I would love, and I know we only have a second, but just an action item. So like from corporate, right? So you are officially corporate and you're in charge. Like if you were to look at everybody on here today, like what's that one little action item that we should all do over the next 2 weeks besides like pack and get our butts there, right? But what's the one little action item you might suggest so that we walk in there ready to run?
I think if you've been on the Zoom the past couple of weeks, Cam has asked the question, what 5 things do you want to get out of this event? And I think that if everyone on this call, everyone that is attending the event, I challenge you to write it on a piece of paper. I don't want it on your phone. I don't want any technical stuff. Just write it on a piece of paper. I want you to fold it up. I want you to like put it in your wallet or put it in your purse and take it out every day and read it. And as you're looking over those things, I want you to envision the life that you would like these things to take you to. So that would be something that I would love. And in fact, if you guys want to email it to me or message me, I would love that, because it will also help me make sure that we are sharing and doing the things that will help you the most at Dare to Dream.
See, that's why we love your heart. Like, guys, I can't tell you how many things this lady is doing at corporate, like plates full. And she's like, email me. I would love to see it. And it's like, wow. I mean, who else do you want to be in business with, experiencing life with, like all of that? Kristine, thank you so much. And
yeah,
I'm going to leave everybody with a last tip for the event to Orlando. Okay. And Andrea, maybe you can help me with this, but I was talking to Kristine and Kristine, is it okay to say something about the 5K?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was talking to Kristine. I was talking to Deanna Latson last night, and Deanna was like, oh my gosh, everybody's got to do the 5K run. Listen, whether you walk or whether you run the 5K run, we're going to put the link to the registration for the 5K in the chats. Andrea Rosser just put it into the chats. But here's the deal. In Orlando, there's going to be a 5K run, walk, crawl, whatever you need to do. Tracy will be running it. And just so you know, he's been training for this 5K. And so he will be leading the charge, running on this 5K. So everybody that wants to run with Tracy, you get out there to this 5K event. But embrace the event in Orlando. Okay? Understand what I'm saying here. Come mentally like, oh my goodness, I'm going to dress up for the what's it called, Kristine? What are we dressing up with?
Oh, the Roaring 20s.
I'm dressing up with the Roaring 20s. Like I ordered a little attire to wear for the Bill Sailing, you should see me. You should see me coming in at the Roaring 20s. Like, here's my point. Let's have fun at this event. Like come prepared to have fun, come prepared to network, come prepared to learn and have the right frame of mind, and come ready to write the next chapter to this company. Like that's what you're a part of.
I was just going to say, I love that so much. Be engaged. So not only go to the event, but do the 5K. You can run with Tracy, or you can walk with me in the back of the line while I'm drinking my Diet Coke. Okay, just kidding. No Diet Coke, but engage in every activity, and I know we're over time, but I just want to say really quickly, when we went to Costa Rica, there was an excursion, and I will tell you what, I woke up that day and I did not want to go. It was like a 2-hour bus ride. I was exhausted. I didn't feel good. And it was a 2-hour bus ride in the jungle of zip line. And I didn't want to go. So I told myself the night before, I'm not going to go. The next morning, I felt like, I need to go. And, that was my highlight of the trip. The one thing that I didn't want to go do, the one thing that was in my mind, it was hard. It was out of the way. Engage. We're going to have workshops. We're going to have yoga. We're going to have a 5K. I know sometimes it's easy to just kind of go off and have a cup of coffee somewhere with a friend, and you'll have plenty of time for that too. But engage, because those are where the opportunities and networking are going to happen, and great photo ops too.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And the last thing is, Kristine launched last night. We have till August the 19th.
Yep.
Guys, listen, talk to your group. If you get someone in on an Activate pack right now, which is 200 points, they level up, Kristine, to business, correct?
Yep.
And then if you're at business level right now, then like if you get yourself to business, you upgrade to elite. If you're sitting at elite, or if you get to elite, then you level up to ultimate. Is that correct, Kristine?
Yes.
So look, there's things going around. Go to the North America Facebook page. I'm sure there's going to be things out talking about this, but it's for a short time. Like you got from now, like August 19th is next Friday. So we got a short period of time, but if you'll get your team on a Zoom, like if you'll have a call with your team and go, okay, imagine this. What if you had 10 people on your team right now that's sitting at business level, that you could work out a strategy to get them to elite so that they bump to ultimate, correct? So they bump to where they bump to ultimate. Like, think about that. Work a strategy out amongst yourself and your team to get them. If we get to this level, we'll bump to this level. Okay. Am I right on that? I want to make sure, or if you come in at this level, you're going to get leveled up to this level, until the 19th. So again, this is something, we have a limited amount of time, but it's something from now until August the 19th. You're talking about action items. How many people on your team can you get them leveled up to the next rank, so that we can celebrate them in Orlando, so that we can, we're going to do a lot of recognitions there, and recognition is huge for your people, right? There's no telling what they'll come out of there ready to go do. Work this from now until August the 19th. Get registered for the 5K run. Get your Roaring 20s outfit ready. You don't have to order one. Go to the thrift store. It doesn't matter. Don't do any. Get to the event, and listen, we're going to have a blast. And I believe, as well as Kristine and Tracy and Andrea and all the leaders right now, believe that we are going into that next chapter for this company, and all of us get to write our future in this chapter. So it's an exciting time. Kristine, thank you again for today.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Have a great Tuesday.
Thanks
for jumping on.
everybody.
Give Kristine a shout out.
Thank you.
Thank
Kristine.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Tracy, great.
Good job, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
sharing.
Grateful
Thank
for you.
you.
Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Job, dog.
Thank you.
Watch them all. Shut up.
See you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
See you, Tina
Thank
Allen
you.
White. See you, Diane and Hill.